When they told me I was carrying quadruplets, I was happy, but then I was so scared. I was scared that my babies might come out not complete. I was scared that maybe one or maybe two of them will come out deformed. That has always been my biggest fears, because I've heard stories of multiple babies coming out deformed. Did my fear later happen to me? Just keep watching and I'll be right back. Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Onyinye and I'm a mom of quadruplets based here in Port Harcourt. You guys, I've been meaning to bring this thing up here, but for some reason I've been holding it back. But after seeing the video that one YouTuber posted yesterday, after seeing that video, I was forced to come out here and share this with you guys. You all know I have quadruplets and I gave birth to them I conceived them through IVF. When my babies were very fine. When I gave birth to them, the four of them, they were very okay. We did not even waste time in the hospital. We came back 8 days after I gave birth, which is not really normal for other people that had multiple babies. Maybe some will be in the incubator, or maybe some will have one problem or the other. But my children came out fine, no jaundice. Okay, immediately they brought them out, they just put them in that blue light, I don't know what it's called. So we left the hospital on the 8th day and we came back house. Everybody was fine. Me, I was fine as well. When my children got to 3 months, I noticed that my son was always running temperature. He was always running temperature. At some point, his lymph node, I don't know where it's located, whether here or here, his lymph node started swelling up. So I asked one of my neighbor that, like, the pharmacist, and she said that lymph node always swell up when your body is fighting an infection, and then when you take antibiotics for it, within 3 days it has gone down. I said okay. So I took my baby to the hospital, the boy, in case you don't know who I'm talking about, the boy, because I have 3 girls and a boy. So when I took the boy to the hospital, they checked him. After running some tests, they said he has an infection, he has a chest infection, whatever infection, that's why the lymph node is swollen. So many stories. So after they carried out the tests and everything, they put him on antibiotics. After he was supposed to take the antibiotics for 7 days, I think. You guys, the day he was supposed to take his last injection, it was as if the temperature became more high. Oh my God, I was taking him to the hospital to take his last injection, and this boy's body was so hot. It was the lymph node that they said it would take 3 to 4 days to go down, it was still there. Initially they told me that they were going to admit us, but I declined because my other babies are at home and they are just here with my mom and my sister. They cannot handle everything. They cannot cook for the family. I have a lot to do. I said no, that we'll be coming and going. Maybe I'll come in the morning and give him his injection. In the night, I'll bring him back again. So I was just doing all these things for that 7 days. So that last day that I went to the hospital for his last injection, I remember it was in the night. When I went there for his last injection, I was the one that told them, this boy is not getting any better. They said, okay, they will have to change antibiotics for him. They will have to give him a higher one. I said, okay, no problem. But then I now accepted for them to admit us. I said I was not going home with this boy like this, because the way he was breathing, oh my God. I'll be leaving maybe a random videos of him. I wasn't yet a YouTuber then, but I was taking pictures and videos of him. So I accepted to be in the hospital with the boy. You guys, I stayed in that hospital for 2 weeks with my boy, and this was before our dedication. This was before our dedication. You guys, I was in that hospital with this boy, and every blessed day, it's as if everything is getting worse. They will have to refer me to another hospital to go and run some tests for him. At some point, they said I will have to run echo test for him because of the way he was breathing. That I have to run echo test for him. I don't know what echo test is. I had to even browse it until I got to the hospital that they told me to go and do it. And when I got there, I saw one other woman that came there with our baby, and the baby was breathing even more than the way my son was breathing. My son's own was not fast breathing. His own was, he was finding it difficult to breathe. When he's breathing, his ribs, like his two sides ribs, will be going inside. You will know that, oh, somebody, this person is trying so hard to breathe, and then here will be going inside, and like, oh my God. So I asked that woman, when did your baby's own started? She said it was from birth. It was from birth. I told her that my son's own was not from birth, though, that I just noticed his own. So she said the hospital that they came from said the daughter, because her own was a girl, that her daughter has a hole in the heart. I just said to myself, my son cannot have a hole in the heart because he was not breathing this way from birth. Because I heard that people that have hole in the heart from birth, you will know. But this one, nothing of such. It just came all of a sudden. He just started breathing like that all of a sudden. So when he got our turn for his own echo test, oh my God, my boy is the strongest human being I've ever seen. I used to think that I'm strong, but when I saw that boy, I knew that he was stronger than I am. Even when they were doing this echo test for him, the doctor that was doing the test for him was like, when this boy was okay, when he was not sick, how do you handle him? Because this boy, he's so hyperactive. Honestly, he did not even allow them to do anything. They have to put him on medication to sleep, because you have to be very quiet for them to do the test for you. This boy no agree. They have to put him on medication. Even at that, he did not sleep. They just have to manage everything. It was when we got home that he started sleeping. After everything, when the doctor was doing the test, the only thing I asked her was, because it was a female doctor, the only thing I asked her was, I hope it's not the one they said is holding the heart that he has. The only thing the doctor told me was that, because she was still running the scan and everything, the only thing she told me was that I should not worry, that whatever it was, that there is always a solution to it, that I should allow her to finish what she was doing. I just kept calm. So when she was done doing it, she now reviewed the test for me. She said, yes, he has a hole in the heart. 3. You guys, I did not shake. When she told me that, I did not shake at all. I was just looking at my boy, because this boy cannot have a hole in the heart. It's not even possible. It's not even possible. When she told me that, I just said in my heart, God forbid. That was what I said. My son cannot have a hole in the heart. And then she placed him on medication. I have to go back to the previous hospital that we were admitted, because they were the one that referred me to their other one. So when I got back there, I was telling them, see what the doctor said. The nurses there, they behave like me. They said never, that this boy cannot have a hole in the heart, because I'm going to say what they told me. They said someone that has hole in the heart, any baby that has a hole in the heart, cannot cry out loud. He or she cannot cry out loud. The baby will be finding it difficult to cry, and then when the baby opens his or her mouth, even maybe to cry or something, the whole of his mouth down to his throat will be greenish. I don't know how true is it. Yes, I think they say it will be greenish or so I cannot even remember. I checked, my baby does not have all those things, and they said it would have even started from birth. But to cut the long story short, they placed him on medication already, and then they said we should come back when he is when he is 6 months, because that time he was just 3 months. They said we should come back when he's 6 months to check again. We stayed at the hospital for 2 weeks, and my baby, he got better. He got better then the day they were, so because I was already like, I was so tired of the hospital. I want to go back home to my other children in the house. Though my mom and my sister, what they usually do is they will bring them for me at the hospital, and then I will breastfeed all of them, and then they will take them back to the house. So me, I got tired of all those things. I just want to go home. I told them to discharge us. They found out that my baby is getting better, and then they discharged us. But they said I will not leave the hospital until we check his blood level before he would leave the hospital, because of all those antibiotics he has been taking. Maybe he would have had shortage of blood or something. So we took him. They said he will have to run some tests for his blood level before we leave the hospital. The doctor said if his blood level was is about maybe like 32%, that they will permit us to go. Maybe they will not give me a blood syrup for him, so he'll be taking it in the house to help build the blood. You guys, I was just waiting for them to run the test. When the result came out, guess what? My baby's blood level was 18%. 18%. People that said if it was 32, they will have to manage it, was 18. You see, the devil is the biggest liar I've ever known. They said we will not leave the hospital until they do a blood transfusion for him, that we will not leave the hospital. That was what they told me. And me, I was not even ready to leave again. I just got tired of going back to the house, because what's the need of going back to the house with a child that has 18% blood? They checked his blood sample. They checked his blood sample, and then they realized he was the same match with the father. And they said that I'll have to call my husband, because he was not even around. Thankfully, the blood count came up to 52%. After the blood transfusion, it was about 52%, and then they discharged us for the second time, and then I came back home. He was not really fine then, but he was manageable. It's something I can manage at home. You guys, I will be leaving most of these videos on the screen, so you will see all the things that I passed through, all the things my baby passed through. I am making this video today because my baby is perfectly fine now. He's perfectly fine. There is nothing God cannot do. When they told us to come back at 6 months for them to check again, because they said, the pediatrician said, the most multiple babies has the same situation, and that some of them outgrow it, but if they don't outgrow it after 1 year, they will have to do surgery for the person to close the heart, the place that is open. So because they said my son has 3 holes, but they said it was not big holes, that it was just small holes, but they were 3, that we should come back at 6 months. So at 6 months, I took him back to that hospital, and I ran another test for him. This test I'm talking about, this echo test, they do it with 50,000 naira, 50K. I took him back at 6 months. They checked. They said 2 has closed. It was remaining 1. I said, okay. I know that even that one they said is still there, is not there, because my son does not have any hole in the heart. See, I just took it that this hospital whined me, because my son cannot have it's not even possible. The devil won't tempt me. Hey, you know, when Jesus lost one of his shepherds, he left the other millions, he left millions of them to go and look for that particular one. That was my situation. That was my situation. So you guys, when I brought my baby back to the house after they said two had closed, I was so happy. I was so happy. But my baby was so small. He was so small. Even the pediatrician was like, oh, he might not really be fast like the siblings. Maybe he will be the last to do everything they are doing. He will not, he will just be dull. I don't know the language that she used. She said my baby might not really be, I don't know how to put it, but I am glad that today God has shamed the devil. My baby has started walking. Not only walking, he is so active. All those breathing that he was breathing then, everything had stopped. That lymph node that they said it takes about 3 to 4 days to go down, my baby's own stayed there up until 5 months. It was there up until 5 months before it went down. But the thing is, it was not growing. It was just there. And the pediatrician, when I complained to her, she would be like, since it's not growing and since it's not paining him, just leave it. If it was paining him when I touch it, or maybe it was growing bigger every day, it would have been a cause for, it would have been something to worry about. But since it does not have any of those problems, I should just allow it. So me, I even stopped touching it, because that time, every time I'll be pressing it, every time I'll be touching it, and it was as if the thing was getting bigger and bigger. But when immediately I just zeroed my mind, I removed my mind from it, the thing just went down. I did not even know when it went down. You guys, when my baby was admitted at that hospital, I don't sleep, because I used to feel like maybe when I close my eyes to sleep, and then if I open it, they will tell me, oh madam, we are sorry, something happened. And then what? ah I was not sleeping. Someone that just gave birth few months ago, not just giving birth to few months ago, not just giving birth few months ago, someone that gave birth to multiple babies, 4 babies at the same time, that I was supposed to at least rest. I've not rested since when I gave birth to my children up until today. I've not rested. I've not rested. I have not. But my happiness is that all my babies are fine now. The only thing is maybe they have little headache from teething, or maybe little fever from teething, or maybe apart from that, nothing else. My children are fine. I want to take it that God took my case so personally, because most multiple babies, this is what their parents had to go through. Not just multiple babies, even people that give birth to singleting, twins, triplets, this is what they have to go through. If you give birth, if after giving birth to all the babies you desire in this world, and you did not give birth to anyone that gave you headache, and you did not give birth to anyone that stressed you, both financially, emotionally, or everything, if you do not give birth to any baby that you have to look at your baby like this, and you will be like, what kind of problem is this? What kind of problem is this? If after giving birth to all your babies and none of them stayed 2 years, 3 years before they could walk, you don't know what God did for you. To be very honest, you don't know what God did for you. So many families are facing such challenges. So many families are facing such challenges, and it's not just easy for them. It is not easy for them. It is not even easy for the baby. It's not even easy for any of them. I knew that one day I will come up here and talk about this. When I started that month, I started YouTubing, I wrote out some things that I will be talking about on my channel, and this was among the topics that I said I was going to talk about when I am ready and when I know that my baby is perfectly fine. I'm that one person that I don't let people see my fears. I hate people telling me sorry. So even if I'm dying, even if I'm going through anything, I don't tell people until maybe I come out from that situation. That's just me. I don't let people to know my fears. But I am here today to testify that God is good, because he showed himself in my family. He showed himself where my son is. I don't see myself giving birth again. So I don't know why devil came to check if he could tamper. In the midst of all these things happening, you guys, I was not scared though. I had a strong mind that nothing is happening. And my faith saw me through. My faith saw me through. My children today made them 1 year and 2 months. That is 14 months. And all of them had started walking. None of them is lacking behind. None of them is doing head like this. None of them is hey, you guys, I am the luckiest person on this world. It's not just about giving birth to children. It's not just about giving birth to a child. It's about having peace of mind with the child that you have. Do you know what it means running in and out of the hospital every now and then? Hey, God. When my baby was at the hospital, sometimes they will bring tape to measure his head. I'm like, what's this one? They'll bring tape to measure his head. God. I did not realize how bad it was. I did not realize how bad it was then. But when I look at my baby now and look at those old videos that I made, I will be like, was this how my son was looking? Because I was not seeing all this one. So no wonder the hospital will look at him and, oh my God. You guys, some people will say instead of God to give them children that will stress them, they better remain without a child. And I don't even blame them, because it is so stressful, so frustrating. I'm here today to give glory to God. I was just going through my son's picture and videos yesterday night, and I was shedding tears of joy, because my son came out victorious. He came out victorious. And I'm here to pray for anyone going through such situation. The God that saw me through, the God that saw my child through, we see you through. We see your child through. I was ready for the worst. I was ready for the worst. Even if it's the surgery they say they want to do, I was ready. But God said, no, just calm down. And then he proved himself in my family. I am here to tell you that no matter what it is you are going through, don't be scared. Because I think fear, like, it does not stop the situation, or it does not minimize what you are going through. It only adds to your problem. Your problem gets worse when you are scared. Do not be scared. Do not be scared. Because God that gave you that child, God that gave you those children, will not forsake you. He will not put you through stress. I know that a lot of people are still going through that stress, but it will not come close to us. I know what I passed through. But today, I am here to give God all the glory, because him alone made this day possible. Him alone made it possible. If you are a TTC mom, I usually say this. If you are a TTC mom, You will not only get pregnant, you will give birth to a healthy baby. There will be no complication. There will be no need to murmur. Whenever you look at your child, whenever you look at your children, you will be happy that, oh, thank God. Forget about beautiful children. Forget about beautiful children. The greatest thing is having a healthy baby. Having a healthy baby is the greatest gift. Forget beauty, forget physical thing. Having a healthy child is the goal. When I look at people that say my son or my daughter is 4 years, is 5 years, he or she is not yet walking, my mind will fly. I will be like, how will I cope if I should be in such situation? How will I cope? Because this is a child that is supposed to be in school by now. This is a child that is supposed to have been doing things for him or her, for his or herself, and then you are still carrying the person up and down. I don't know what I'll use and thank this God. To be very honest, I don't know what I'll use and thank him, because he knows that I already have a lot on my plate. Taking care of 4 babies is a lot, and then adding another one that is deformed, that would be a lot. That would be a lot. That would be a lot. But I thank God for his life today. And I believe that will be your testimony too. This video is becoming too long. Thank you. And remain blessed. You can subscribe if you wish. This is my video. I am not here to beg anybody to subscribe. You guys, if up until now you've not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and I will see you all in my next video.